This story comes to us from Fox32Chicago.com. That's right. This is another one dealing with social media and how it ties into your work. But when then Alderman John Arena announced plans in 2017 to bring an affordable housing development to Jefferson Park, the proposal drew stiff resistance from some who said they feared the new housing might drive up crime in a Northwest Side neighborhood that's home to many city workers. And I kind of understand I do understand their concerns. Because you bring an affordable housing development, what comes? Crime. I mean, here locally, they're building a lot of housing communities up, and we're getting a lot of people now, a lot of break-ins, a lot of prowling, a lot of property thefts. So I get that argument, but amid the heated community debate, staffers in Arena's 45th Ward office noticed racially charged comments about the proposal on Facebook, many of them made by Chicago cops. Chicago? Arena's office provided screenshots of offensive posts to City Hall's Inspector General's office, citing 31 sworn officers who had joined in the contentious dispute, and the Inspector General's staff flagged 10 more. It took nearly 5 years for Civilian Office of Police Accountability, or COPA, the city's police oversight agency, to complete its investigation into the officer's social media posts. That resulted in the agency recommending last August that 5 members of the Chicago PD be given lengthy suspensions for making incendiary, in some cases racist, comments about the development and on other divisive issues. Now, going back to COPA, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, I've asked this before, how much bite does that dog really have? I mean, it's the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. I mean, are they really, I don't know. And I've never really looked into them. And of course, they're in Chicago or out of Chicago. So maybe one of you Chicago residents, the Bears, maybe one of you residents there could tell us what kind of bite they have. Like, do they have power? Are they able to really do anything, or do they just recommend and the city goes, yeah. I digress. Now a new report from COPA details the posts the officers made and the agency's conclusions. Among other cop posts, among the posts, Sergeant Keith Olson described Chicago teenagers as little animal bleeping, but expressed encouragement that the ghetto building hadn't got approval yet. There's another mouth to feed in the ghetto. Officer Dallas Englehart responded to a post endorsing then President Donald Trump's plan to build a wall on the U.S. border with Mexico and proposed shooting down what he called undocumented planes with anti-aircraft blasts. I don't know how to take that one. Sergeant Anargios, I don't know how to say your name, Kirakis, oh my God, you need to change your name, dude. He's Greek. Sergeant Anargiros Kirikis equated the BLM movement, the NFL, and black entertainers to the Ku Klux Klan and asked, do black lives really matter to black people? Well, you know what? Sometimes some of those BLM people could be equated to the Ku Klux Klan, and I'll tell you why. Because some of them are so centered on issues of people of color that when a white person does try to, give their opinion or chime in, they go, yeah, this is coming from a white person. What do you know? Huh? You're white. What do you know about our issues? So to speak. And so sometimes that could be a parallel comparison. I know I'm going to get so much criticism for that, but you get where I'm coming from, right? That I guess what I'm saying is in the BLM movement, there are people that are prejudiced and, against the Caucasian people, some of them are just as much as the KKK is against people of color. Now, I don't endorse the KKK. I don't advocate for them. I hate them. They're disgusting. But sometimes BLM, y'all can act a little bit like them sometimes when it comes to Caucasian people. Anyway, so he says, do Black lives really matter to black people? It's a fair question. I don't know why he's being criticized on that. Moving on, I beat that one. Officer Angel Avalos Jr. used a social media platform to write, "Work will set you free," a variation of a phrase that appeared on the gates to the Nazis' Auschwitz concentration camp. Yeah, that was a little overboard. Yeah, Angel. Stop it. Officer Scott Kniaz predicted when a police officer was reported to have been injured after a video was released showing the fatal shooting of 17-year-old Laquan McDonald by a Chicago cop, it will not be long until the war starts. George Floyd, boom, the nation burned. Laquan McDonald got shot. That's a fair statement of a cop going, well, it's not going to be long until the war starts. I don't know. Anyway, COPA recommended suspending Engelhardt, Kariakis, and Olson for at least 120 days. Avalos faced a minimum suspension of 60 days, and Kniaz was deemed to deserve a 30-day punishment. No one has been disciplined yet. None of these officers have been disciplined. Now, this is quite a lengthy, oh man, this is really long. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I don't have that much time. It's really long. But the gist here is, so these cops were posting things on social media, and COPA is saying, hey, we got to start disciplining these cops for the things they're saying on social media. Now, a couple of those things that I read, it's almost like in today's society, you can't say anything. You say anything, it's politically incorrect. That's incorrect. PC, buddy, PC. PC should actually stand for People's Court, because that's where you end up if you say anything that offends anybody else. You end up in the People's Court. I'm not talking about Judge Judy or Marilyn Mion. I'm talking about the people, the public opinion, court of public opinion. Canceled, cancel culture. That's what I'm talking about. You can't say anything. You say, do Black lives really matter to Black Lives Matter? Oh my God!